morning. Greetings, friends, and welcome to the Brightside, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I am your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. Registered pharmacist number 12275. I specialize in using nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your vitality and health and well-being and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to the Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body. You are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health issue. That is why we are here every day on the Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 27 years of practicing pharmacy, I've seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes and hypertension and obesity and skin diseases like acne and psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds. Recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle. But what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human biological system is a healing system, it's a regenerating system, it is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that healing system a miracle, it really is no miracle at all. It is simply the way the body works. If you have questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs, we want to hear from you. If you want to get off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, let us help you. Our number is 855-660-4261, 855-660-4261. If you have questions about medications or nutritional supplements or ingredients or skincare or the longevity products, we can help you, 855-660-4261. Likewise, if you want to help a loved one or workmate or family member get off their prescription drugs and get on a good nutritional supplement program, 855-660-4261 is our number on the Bright Side. And if you have a success story you'd like to share, or if you want to contribute to the conversation, please give us a call, 855-660-4261. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products you hear recommended on the program or advertised on the program, you can call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470, and ask them about joining the Brightside Ben team. For a one-time $10 fee, you can enjoy all the tax benefits associated with having your own business. You can earn yourself some thank you checks, you can share the products, and you can help spread the word about the power and importance of a good nutritional supplement program. And when I say power and importance of a good nutritional supplement program, I'm speaking to you from nearly 30 years of experience using, recommending, and dispensing nutritional supplements. The results are stupendous, and it doesn't take very long. That's one of the great gifts of the human body. The sicker we are, the faster we turn it around, the more weight we need to lose, the faster the pounds come off, and the more nutritionally deficient we are, the faster our body will absorb and utilize the nutrients we put into the system. And this accounts for the quick results people get when they use the Beyond Tangy Tangerine or the Healthy Start Pack or the Z-Radical or any of the other fine longevity products. You can find out all about it by calling the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470 or heading over to brightsideben.com, brightsideben.com, and clicking on the Join the Team link on the upper left-hand corner of the page. Also want to remind you to check out my blog, pharmacistben.com, which we update regularly with news stories and blog posts. Thank you to my webmaster, Robert Lundgren. Got a post up there, hopefully it'll be up today, on acupuncture, and that is at pharmacistben.com. Okay, we're talking about DMAE, dimethylaminoethanol, but we'll just call it DMAE. DMAE is a natural compound found in the body. It's a precursor. It gets turned into various substances. Specifically, it gets turned into a nerve chemical called acetylcholine. We'll call it ACH, so we don't have to say acetylcholine. ACH is a nerve chemical that's involved in relaxation. It's involved in mental health. Intellectual functions depend on ACH. If you're looking for a nootropic agent, a learning agent, they call them nootropic, Nootropic, nootropic agents, learning agents, a nutritional supplement that you can use for supporting intellectual functions or memory or learning ability or focus ability. You want to use stuff that helps you make ACH or is involved with ACH. For example, some of you may have heard of something called piracetam, P-I-R-A-C-E-T-A-M. Piracetam has a well-deserved reputation as a learning agent, and it works with acetylcholine or ACH. Another neat supplement is called huperazine, Huperazine. These are somewhat exotic supplements, huperazine as well as piracetam. Both work with the ACH system, and they're involved with learning and intellectual functions and memory. If you have a relative, a family member, a friend, a parent who's dealing with dementia or Alzheimer's disease, you may want to think about using piracetam or huperazine as supplements. Of course, DMAE will also get you some focus benefits, and as we said on our last program, DMAE can be found in many focus factor type nutritional supplements. Then there's the whole issue of lipofuscin, the aging pigment. If you see those little brown spots on your arms, you're starting to get brown spots on your arms or on your face or anywhere on your body, and it doesn't look like pigment, they look like a light brown sort of color, and they have a irregular shape. You're probably looking at lipofuscin, the aging pigment. Lipofuscin is not really a skin problem, even though it looks like a skin problem. That's the thing about the skin. It's multiple layers. Skin is made up of multiple layers. And when we look at something on top of the skin, very often it isn't really on top of the skin. This is especially true when it comes to the cysts and the boils and the welts that are associated with acne or acne-like diseases. So many of us think that, we'll just rub some stuff on this zit, or we'll rub some stuff on this boil or pimple, and our acne will go away. And we're encouraged to think that by commercials and celebrities and know-nothing by dermatologists. I'm sorry, we'll just say dermatologists. We're encouraged to think we can just rub something on our welt or our boil or our cyst and it will go away. That's not how it works, because when we see something on top of the skin, it doesn't necessarily mean it's on top of the skin. In the case of boils and cysts, you're looking at a material that's being pushed up, pushing the skin forward or pushing the skin upward, making it look like there's some kind of boil or cyst, but the problem is really not on the skin, it's underneath. And likewise with lipofuscin, the brown spots that appear on the skin that we call liver spots or the spots of aging. These lipofuscin accumulations are located deep in the dermis, the lower levels of the skin. Lipofuscin accumulation, brown spots, are much more than cosmetic, much more than superficial. They're very important to recognize because they're associated with many of the diseases of aging. As we get older, as our cells get older, this accumulation that looks like brown spots on the hands and the arms and the face is really deep in the skin and also deep inside the body. So when you see brown spots on your skin, you got them in your brain too. When you see those brown spots on your skin, you probably have them in your heart too, and your nervous system. Lipofuscin buildup inside of cells can disrupt the delicate workings inside of a cell, and in addition to being a sign of the aging process, it can also be a cause of the aging process. So if lipofuscin is accumulating, you want to consider that you're building waste. Lipofuscin is a type of cell waste or cell debris. So if you see those brown spots starting to show up on your arms or on your face or anywhere on your body, what it probably means is cells are starting to accumulate waste and they're not draining them away. Well, luckily, there's some nutritional supplements that you can use to help drain away lipofuscin. Of course, it's probably advisable to figure out why lipofuscin is accumulating in the first place, and that means making sure that we're staying off of foods that disrupt the digestive system, keeping our blood sugar stable, make sure we're breathing correctly, inhaling correctly, and exhaling more than we're inhaling, relaxing, activating our relaxation nervous system, minimizing the stimulation of the stress nervous system, all the things we talk about on the bright side, getting on a good nutritional supplement program. All of these will help prevent the buildup of this waste product lipofuscin. But there's also things we could do to support the elimination and drainage of lipofuscin. You can use lecithin. Lecithin is probably one of the most effective supplements, dietary supplements, for helping drain away lipofuscin. Vitamin E can also help, but there's not a lot of supplements that are more effective for draining away this aging pigment than DMAE, dimethylaminoethanol. You can get that in lots of supplements. Hang tight. We'll tell you a little bit more about DMAE. We'll talk about DMAE and the skin when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. We'll be back right after this.
Hey, gang, as you can imagine, living with the moniker America's Mr. Right can be kind of tough at times. But you know what? It's easy to live up to the challenge when you're feeling good. Hi, everybody. I'm Jason Lewis, and that's why I watch what I eat and supplement my diet with great products from Youngevity, like their great vitamin mineral complex drink or a protein shake or my favorite probiotic dark chocolate packed with antioxidants. You know, I love these products, and I'll bet you will, too. And now you can get them all at jasonlewisteam.com. Now, look, these are just the things I like from Youngevity, but if you're looking for, a sports drink endorsed by an NBA All-Star or a shot of Pollen Burst, the best energy drink on the market, it's all here, too. All you have to do is go to jasonlewisteam.com or call 1-855-310-TEAM. Now, that's 1-855-310-TEAM. Get all these products and more and feel like America's Mr. Right. It's jasonlewisteam.com.
Friends, this is Alex Jones for MidasResources.com. For more than 15 years, I have exclusively used Midas Resources for all my precious metal needs. Whether it's bullion or collectibles you're looking for, Midas Resources is simply the best. I own my gold as a hedge against inflation. This Federal Reserve fiat currency could go the way of the Deutschmark and the Weimar Republic anytime. In these historically dangerous times, it makes sense to physically hold gold and silver. Midas already has some of the best deals in the industry. But if you give them a call and mention the radio special, they will give you a list of the day's super specials. Midas brokers are standing by to answer all your questions at 800-686-2237. They also have a lot of informative free literature explaining the opportunities and risk of holding precious metals. They are ready to answer your questions at 800-686-2237. Again, that's 800-686-2237.
We all know that Berkey Water Purification Systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey Water Filtration Systems. The Berkey Light Systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light System today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at GoBerkey.com. That's GoBerkey.com today.
It's hard to imagine when things are going reasonably well, just how quickly things can change. But what would it take? Economic collapse, massive crop failure, chemical or biological attack? So many situations could find you in the grocery looking to pick up food for your family only to find that the shelves are empty. There's nothing. Don't let that happen. Act today to make sure that if it ever comes to that, you and your family will be provided for. Visit freezedryguy.com to look at the wide variety of survival foods available. Freeze-dried foods from the Freeze Dry Guy store longer, rehydrate faster, are nutritionally superior to, and taste better than any other long-term storage food available. Visit freezedryguy.com or call toll-free 866-404-3663. freezedryguy.com.
Not just an alternative to the mainstream media. We're the premier independent talk radio network. We are G's.
We're back on the bright side. Got a letter from Kim. She says, my brother suffers from plantar fasciitis, and it is a relatively recent development within the past 6 or 3 months. It's an increasingly painful annoyance, particularly by day's end. I know from hearing your show on Sunday morning in my area that you attribute most health maladies to digestive problems and nutrition, though seemingly unrelated. Are there correlations between this problem and nutrition and digestion? If so, what would you suggest to minimize the effects of plantar fasciitis, which is a foot problem? bottom of your foot. It gets kind of, fasciitis is an inflammation in the muscle. Fascia is a technical term for the coating on the muscle, actually. Fasciitis is an inflammation, so plantar fasciitis is an inflammatory issue. Why would it be seemingly unrelated? Why would an inflammatory issue be seemingly unrelated to nutrition and digestion? Well, apparently that is what we think. We say, oh my God, it's my foot. What the heck's that got to do with nutrition or digestion? Listen, we got to understand that there is nothing that goes wrong in the body that is not connected to nutrition and digestion. There's no miracle, there's no pixie dust, magical pixie dust that gets sprinkled on the body. There's no little elves that shoot arrows into our body. Everything that goes wrong in the body goes wrong because something gets into it inappropriately. Now, unless you're injecting drugs IV or breathing in some kind of toxic waste or you work in a nuclear power plant, chances are, if something's getting into your body inappropriately, it has to do with nutrition and digestion and food. Simple as that. Now, we don't get encouraged to believe this because there's nothing that the medical model can do when it comes to nutrition and digestion and food. And the medical model is not about to kill the goose that lays the golden eggs. The goose that lays the golden eggs is us. We're the ones who support the medical model, and the medical model doesn't want us to know that we don't need them. We don't need our doctor. We don't need our drugs. We don't need our insurance companies unless we get hit by a bus or have some kind of severe accident. If you've got plantar fasciitis or any itis at all, you've got an inflammatory condition, and the first thing you want to check on is nutrition and digestion. Eliminating problem foods is job number one. Anytime you have an itis, anytime you have itis disease, anytime you have itis, inflammation, anything going wrong in the body, focus on the digestive system first, eliminate problem foods, and build up the digestive tract and support the bacteria that live in the small intestine, in the small end, to a certain extent, I suppose, the large intestine. Anyway, probiotics, good bacteria, fermented foods, the Biolumin Nightly Essence. I'm very proud to say that Youngevity's got a new product line coming up, and we'll be talking to a guy named Jordan Rubin. Some of you may have heard of Jordan, who's done some tremendous work. He's like an icon in the world of nutrition and alternative health. Jordan healed himself of Crohn's disease using nothing but food and nutritional supplementation. That should come as no surprise to you. If you're listening to this program, you know about the food and digestive connection. Jordan has developed a whole line of fermented dairy products, some of which don't have the allergens that a lot of milk has in it. The main allergen that's in milk has been bred out by Jordan Rubin's his breeding techniques. He's actually got cattle that he breeds, and he's figured out a way to breed out the toxins, or the allergens, I should say, that are in milk. Jordan also has got a lot of good fermented foods, and I'm very excited to say that Youngevity is going to be featuring some of Jordan's products, and that'll be hopefully in the next month or two. We'll have Jordan on, and he'll be talking about that. In any case, fermented foods, sauerkraut, miso, tempeh, all the fermented foods that we talk about, fermented beets, kimchi, that helps. That'll help you with your plantar fasciitis or any inflammatory issue. Using the Z-radical is very important for coating the digestive system, and then, of course, eliminating problem foods. As far as building muscles go, or reducing the inflammation that's in muscles, vitamin E is probably the most important of your anti-inflammatory nutrients. If you're a bodybuilder, weightlifter, runner, marathon runner, use vitamin E. If you've got plantar fasciitis or arthritis or any kind of itis disorder, think about using 400 international units of vitamin E a day. Alpha lipoic acid is also anti-inflammatory. Around 400 milligrams of that a day can be helpful. Vitamin C is just as important as vitamin E for inflammation, around 1,000 to 5,000 milligrams a day. Get on the Healthy Start Pack. Make sure you're using the Ultimate Enzymes, which have anti-inflammatory properties and also can support digestion. So much we can do. The Glucogel caps may also help you with your plantar fasciitis. There's tons of stuff you can do, but please do not diminish or marginalize or be dismissive about the connection between nutrition and digestion and seemingly, as Kim says, seemingly unrelated conditions like plantar fasciitis. Okay, let's see. We're talking about DMAE. DMAE is found in many focus-type formulas. DMAE is important for brain health. DMAE can help you reduce the accumulation or the development of aging pigment. It's important for movement disorders. Brain diseases and movement disorders are related to each other. So if you've got Alzheimer's disease or dementia, or you have Parkinson's disease or any palsies, or you have any kind of degenerative condition, including eye degeneration like macular degeneration, these all can be related to lipofuscin, and using DMAE can be very beneficial. According to a guy named Dr. Ward Dean, who's written extensively on the benefits of DMAE, you can use DMAE cosmetically. because it can help reduce the formation of lipofuscin in the skin, reduce the brown spots, and perhaps even prevent the formation of wrinkles. Now, there's not a lot of literature to support DMA's use as anti-wrinkle or topical anti-wrinkle medicine, or a topical anti-wrinkle ingredient, if you will. But there's still a lot of dermatologists who recommend it as effective. Dr. Perricone, most of you guys have heard of Perricone. I started talking to Dr. Perricone back in the early 1990s. I read a couple of papers that he wrote, and I've had some conversations with him. Dr. Perricone rose to fame via his support for DMAE, the use of DMAE for wrinkles. Although when I spoke to him probably 15 or 20 years ago, he couldn't really tell me how using DMAE topically could have effects on wrinkle prevention. Collagen-forming cells that help prevent wrinkles are located very deep in the skin, in the dermis, in the lower levels of the skin. And personally, I couldn't figure out, I still can't figure out why DMAE would migrate through the surface of the skin all the way down to the bottom of the skin. And nobody can really figure it out. In fact, there's not a lot of literature that shows that it can, and Dr. Perricone himself couldn't really tell me how it's done. According to research that was published in the journal Cutaneous Biology, well-respected, peer-reviewed scientific journal, according to an article that was published in Cutaneous Biology, the effects of DMAE actually involve toxicity. The beneficial effects of DMAE actually involve a type of toxicity. Apparently, at least according to the researchers who wrote this article, DMAE induces an inflammatory effect and a toxic effect, which can result in some swelling that makes the skin appear more taut and smooth. The product Nerium, which many of you have written to me about, works in a similar fashion. Nerium causes a swelling. It's a kind of toxic plant ingredient, and it causes a little bit of swelling, and it makes the skin appear, notice the word appear, more taut, more smooth, and younger. Now, nothing wrong with appearances. If you want to just work with appearances, that's fine. The important point is, however, that DMAE and Nerium, for that matter, are not nutritional or health-inducing ingredients. They're not health-inducing. They're not nutritional. DMAE is not nutritional. Nerium's not nutritional. It may work, but it works cosmetically. Now, that's not a bad thing. It simply means that these ingredients are superficial and they're used for cosmetic purposes only. They're not going to affect the health status of the skin. And in the case of DMAE, which internally will give you some health benefits, internally it can affect nerve transmission. It's important to recognize that these internal benefits are probably not applicable to the skin, despite marketing that implies that it is. All right, we're coming back with more good health information and your phone calls. 855-660-4261 is our number. We'll be back right after this.
Men who want intimacy and pleasure back in their love life don't ask if, they ask when. So men, spark up your love life, get pleasure and intimacy back, and please your special lady with Epic Nights. Epic Nights is a safe, revolutionary herbal sexual formula for men that combines ancient herbal ingredients and modern science to significantly support stamina, performance, and pleasure. Men, Epic Nights is a proven 100% natural product that works first time, every time, even after consuming alcohol. And you won't hear any of those cliche disclaimers, men, because Epic Nights will not give you unwanted side effects, but Epic Nights will allow you to give your partner what they deserve. Epic Nights is guaranteed as one of the most effective male enhancers on the web, or will refund your purchase 100%. Buy Epic Nights at buyepicnights.com, spelled BUYEPICNIGHTS.com, or call 1-877-330-1120, 877-330-1120. Epic Nights, one pill, one Epic Night.
This is a special news alert to consumers who owe back taxes to the IRS.
Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing during the decline in the U.S. economy, the Internal Revenue Service is now accepting reduced settlements from consumers on back taxes, resulting in back taxes reduced by thousands of dollars. An open phone line has been established by Federal Tax Relief for consumers to call and see if you qualify for this reduction. To ensure your financial stability during this decline in the economy, take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call 1-800-210-1349. That's 1-800-210-1349. If you owe back taxes to the IRS, there's no need to fear anymore. The IRS is now accepting reduced settlements from consumers, resulting in tax debts reduced by thousands of dollars. For your free information and to see if you qualify for your reduction, call the Federal Tax Relief Hotline, 1-800-210-1349. 1-800-210-1349. That's 1-800-210-1349.
I will never forget the day my son Jeremy told me he hated me and slammed the door in my face. I'm behavioral therapist Janet Lehman. Behavior problems can turn the child you love and your life into a nightmare. That's why my husband James and I created the Total Transformation, the step-by-step program that shows you how to fix the worst behavior problems and get your child to respect and listen to you again. No matter what the behavior, defiance, backtalk, angry outbursts, disrespect, we can help you stop it. Now you can get the Total Transformation for free. All you need to do is get the program and let us know how it works for you. You can keep it forever for free.
Limited number of free programs available. Call now. 1-888-912-1595. 1-888-912-1595. That's 1-888-912-1595. 1-888-912-1595.
Mother's Day is right around the corner. If you haven't ordered your Mother's Day flowers yet, make sure to visit proflowers.com for an amazing deal. ProFlowers has a Mother's Day special for radio listeners. Get 100 gorgeous blooms for Mom with a free glass vase for $19.99. And if you want to make her day even more special, upgrade to a premium vase and add gourmet chocolates for just $9.99 more. Mom will be so happy when she unwraps her beautiful bouquet of blooms, guaranteed to stay fresh and beautiful for at least one full week. Each time she looks at her Mother's Day flowers, she'll think of you. But hurry, this deal expires soon, so make sure to place your order today. The only way to get this incredible deal is to go to proflowers.com/radio right now and enter the code PLOW, P-L-O-W, proflowers.com/radio, code PLOW, P-L-O-W. That's proflowers.com/radio and enter code PLOW, P-L-O-W.
Great news, pure water lovers. BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com has a special discount offer for all GCN listeners. You can't do better than a Big Berkey for economy. For only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. There's none better than a Big Berkey for emergency preparedness as a backup water source. And you just can't beat a Big Berkey to remove dangerous chlorine, all types of fluoride, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, parasites, and unhealthy byproducts from municipal water. Berkey water filter systems are even powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. For the gold standard in water filters, get a Big Berkey at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And all GCN listeners get 5% off all ceramic filter systems. For details, call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
Free from the shackles of corporate America, we're the place for independent thinkers. GC.
All right, we're back on the bright side for Kim, my friend Kim, who's wrote about plantar fasciitis. I forgot to mention CM, cetyl myrostoleate, CM cream and CM internally can also be very helpful. They're not nutritional necessarily, but they have some really nice effects for inflammation. CM, both the CM cream from Youngevity and the internal CM capsules, CM for any inflammatory issues. I love the cream. If you mix a little bit of hot pepper cream with the CM, it can make it even work even better. There's a hot pepper cream that you could buy in drugstores called Zostrix, Z-O-S-T-R-I-X. And if you mix a little of that hot pepper cream with your CM cream, it makes a really, really nice rub for sore muscles, plantar fasciitis, even for massage. And you can do self-massage on your body as well using Zostrix and the CM cream. Forgot to mention that. Okay, we'll continue talking about DMAE for internal purposes tomorrow. There's a neat process in the body called methylation. We've talked about that in the past. Methylation is a fancy schmancy chemical name for a process that occurs that keeps your heart healthy, keeps your brain healthy, has wonderful anti-aging benefits, and there's nutritional supplements that you can use that are, they call them methylating agents. These are nutritional supplements that can support methylation, and DMAE is actually one of them. We'll talk about that tomorrow as we continue talking about DMAE, dimethyl amino ethanol, because as we talk about DMAE, we're actually talking about protein and bodybuilding, building the body, I should say. DMAE is a very important methylating agent, which can have some important bodybuilding or building body properties. We'll talk about that tomorrow as we continue on the bright side. I am Pharmacist Ben. We're here Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific and 10 to 11 Central Time. Our number is 855-660-4261. Time to hit the phones. Let's welcome Mike from California. Mike, what's going on, my man? Welcome to the bright side.
Hey, I have two questions for you.
Sure.
So I was taking the One World Way.
Okay.
And I'm not really, wondering another good one to take, but they say that they're going to fix the problems and that they're going to have another batch.
Okay.
And I'm just not sure. There were so many claims, so many positive claims on the label that now I'm kind of wondering if they can get the protein and the dietary sugars so off. How can I trust all the other stuff?
I'm in the same boat as you are, my friend. Like I was saying on Friday, Steven's a great guy, the guy who runs Synergistic Nutrition, who does One World Way. I've had many conversations with him. He's really a health advocate, very integritous guy, honest guy, and he got screwed as much as anybody else did, I think, by the people who were making the product. And your point is very well taken. How do you know? You just don't know. Now, I will say, in fairness to One World Way, there's a lot of folks, including my mom, and a lot of folks who have a lot of customers and patients of mine who I've recommended over the years the One World Way product. There's a lot of folks who swear by it, who think they've gotten great results. My mom is included in that. And I've gotten letters and I've gotten posts on my Facebook page from people who say they've gotten great benefits from One World Way. So even if there's only 5 grams of protein and not as much protein and there's a lot more sugars in there, we got to just have to admit there's people who've gotten benefits from this stuff. So point well taken, my friend. You're not going to know exactly, and you don't know exactly. Your lack of trust is understandable. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive, as Shakespeare said many years ago. And it's true. Once you're dishonest with your labeling, and I'm not saying Steven or Synergistic Nutrition was, but certainly the manufacturer of it was, either intentionally or not intentionally, you lose that element of trust. As a pharmacist, I am very cognizant that trust is very important. That's why I'm so careful about talking about products. And I've made a lot of enemies because I don't talk about products the way other healthcare practitioners or radio hosts talk about products. I don't talk about products that way because, to me, my credibility is of the utmost importance. I don't have anything if I don't have credibility. So I'm not telling you, when I talk about the Beyond Tangy Tangerine or I talk about the Biolumin Nightly Essence, or when I don't talk about a product, it's because I either truly believe in that product because, number one, I've seen the research, number two, I've experienced the benefits either myself or I've witnessed the benefits in my patients. And if I'm recommending a product, I'm telling you with 100% surety that I believe this stuff works based on literature and my personal experience. So credibility is of the utmost importance. Once it's lost, it's lost. And Mike, I don't blame you. I'd be suspicious myself. But that having been said, there are folks who've gotten benefits from the One World Way. If you're looking for I know you said you're not looking for another brand necessarily, but if you are, or if anybody out there listening is looking for another brand, you might want to try the Natural Factors brand, which is one that I've started to use, and I like the taste very much. And the protein content is, I don't remember what it is exactly, but it's got a significant protein content. It doesn't have any added sugars, and it's made from hormone-free cattle. It's made in Canada, where they tend to have cleaner cattle. And that's the one I'm recommending now. If you like the One World Way, stick with it. And some folks have gotten benefits, and I'm very excited and very curious to see what the new product will be like. I don't know how it could taste as good. One of the neat things about the One World Way is it tastes really awesome, but now we know why, because it apparently had so much sweetener in it.
Right.
So you're going to I wish I had an answer for you, Mike. You're just going to have to check it out for yourself, see how you respond, see if you're a weightlifter or bodybuilder, see if your muscles are responding positively, see if you're full and satisfied. That's one of the ways you can tell if a protein powder has enough protein in it, is by your satiety, your satisfaction. Protein is very, very satisfying, and if you feel a sense of satiety or satisfaction or fullness after you eat your protein, that's a really good sign, and that's one of the ways that you can tell. But other than that, you're just going to have to either go by your long-term experience with the product over the course of days and weeks and months, or you're just going to have to trust. I wish I had a better answer for you. Anything else, Mike?
Yeah, one more question.
Sure.
I'm 25, and I do some weightlifting.
Okay.
And I've been feeling kind of sluggish and just low on energy, so I decided to go get my testosterone levels checked.
There's no way it's low.
Lo and behold,
it's not low.
It was 170.
Oh, wow. That is low.
It's supposed to be like a strong number for someone my age would be like 650, 700.
Yeah, no, that's way low.
Yeah. They had a second round of blood tests to cancel out if there was like any binders that could be like other problems that could be causing it, and that's not the case. So,
are you getting muscle development from your lifting weight?
I'm getting a little bit, but I've always been pretty strong, and it may be like I've retained the muscle that I had before, and I haven't really been making gains lately.
How's your belly doing? You got some belly fat going on?
A little bit.
More? Have you noticed?
But I'm 6'4".
How much do you weigh?
Like 30 or 265, but I'm 6'4", and I lift a lot of weight. I could probably, if I got super lean, I'd be like 220, 215.
Have you noticed over the course of the last couple of years, since you're maybe 23, that you're starting to gain more belly fat?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a sign that you may be experiencing either insulin resistance or you may be starting to accumulate estrogen, both of which will have a negative effect on your male hormone and your testosterone. You might want to start going on to a strict low-carb or very, and by low-carb I mean low bread, not low vegetables. Vegetables are always important, and that's carbs, but low-processed carb, low grains, not just gluten, but all grains, oats and corn and flour of any kind, a diet. That's usually the most significant cause of insulin resistance, certainly fruit juice and soda and desserts. That goes without saying. But sometimes we forget that rice and potatoes and even so-called whole grains can be insulin resistance inducing, and that can have a negative effect on testosterone. There's also supplements you can take that help you support testosterone. You should absolutely be using 50 milligrams of zinc picolinate a day. You should be using vitamin A every day, 20,000 international units a day. Hang tight. We'll finish up when we come back from our break, Mike. And then if you're on hold, hang tight. We'll get to you when we come back. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. 855-660-4261 is our number. We'll be back right after this. Don't go away.
My name is Kay Swirling, and I am in the early part of my 10th decade. I want to discuss the issue of pharmaceuticals versus minerals and vitamin supplements. I remember a discussion between my mother and me. It was at that time that canned vegetables and fruits were introduced into the U.S. market. It was some time before my mother and others felt comfortable with food in cans. That was also the time when drugstores offered for sale cough syrup and aspirins and not much else. Let's fast forward to this decade, the here and now. Simple drugstores are large corporations with the message that they are the ones who have the power to cure human ills. Meanwhile, the battle continues with minerals and vitamins being the answer to human ills. Who will win the battle? I believe and hope it will be the belief in the power of vitamins and minerals over that of the toxic chemicals in prescription drugs. What do you think?
So we decided to upgrade the look of our home.
You know, improve the curb appeal.
We decided to add the look of stone to the exterior.
We really like the stacked stone look.
Yeah, but when I checked into the price, it was ridiculous. No way could we afford it.
Then a friend told me about Genstone. Genstone.
Genstone comes in lightweight panels made of polyurethane. They've actually engineered the hassle out of installation. No mortar, no mesh. It was easy. Even I could do it.
We just screwed the panels to the wall and it looks like stone. I mean, it really looks like stone.
Yeah, from the box to the wall in minutes.
We love the look of our home now.
And Genstone is durable, comes with a 25-year warranty, and offers additional R value for insulation.
If you want the look of stone at a price you can afford, call Genstone
at 855-955-STONE. Trust me, you'll save money.
And you'll love the look.
855-955-STONE. That's 855-955-7866.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document? Worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average over 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
If you're worried about your health and you're tired of the nasty side effects of harsh drugs or antibiotics, then look no further. Supernatural Silver is the answer. Supernatural Silver is a powerful immune system enhancer that can be used every day to help keep you healthy and well with none of those nasty side effects. It's extremely safe for use internally as well as topically. And Supernatural Silver is hundreds of times more effective than colloidal or ionic silver. It is perfect for use in the sinuses, eyes, ears, and on any wound or skin issue. Supernatural Silver is also extremely effective when taken orally and can help fight off bacteria, viruses, and mold that may be overwhelming your immune system. Go to supernaturalsilver.com, supernaturalsilver.com, and use the promo code SILVER2014 for 20% off of your entire order and give yourself and your loved ones a fighting chance with Supernatural Silver.
The nation's largest independently owned and operated talk radio network, the Genesis Communications Network, G.
All right, we're back on the bright side. I am Pharmacist Ben. Our number is 855-660-4261. If you're interested in joining the Brightside Ben team, love to have you aboard. Love to have you help me in my mission to educate the world about the power and importance of a good nutritional supplement program. If you yourself have experienced health benefits from nutritional supplementation, you can earn yourself some thank you checks simply by sharing the information and sharing the products you've used. If you've used the longevity products, you can find out all about how to join the Brightside Ben team by calling the phone team at 866-735-2470. You can also click on the Join the Team link on the upper left-hand corner of the page at brightsideben.com. Okay, we're talking to Mike in California about testosterone levels. Mike, did you say 170 or 270 on your testosterone levels?
Like a lot of elderly people have levels of like 250, 260. So
where were you? I didn't hear. You said 170 or 270?
Yeah, 170.
Okay, yeah,
testosterone.
That is, I would be retested because that's significantly low, especially if you're a big guy. That sounds pretty low to me, unless there was something. Maybe there was something wrong with the test, or you had.
I got it done in the morning too, when it's supposed to be the highest.
Yeah, so. That's true. You didn't eat breakfast or anything like that?
No, Sometimes... it was. I had other. I had like fasting labs to go along with it, and it was like 8:30 in the morning. Okay. But my main question for you was that I think she's going to. My primary care doctor is going to refer me to an endocrinologist. I wouldn't go that way yet because they're just going to medicate you. Right. But if I did take it, I mean, I'm a pretty serious weightlifter, and now it's like I'm like flipping out because I put in probably like 7 or 8 hours in the gym each week, and I don't think I'm making any gains.
Well, here's the deal. The rest period is as important as the workout period. So you want to be, you don't want to be overtraining. That's a lot of work. If you're working intensely, you're not, farting around in the gym, talking and socializing. If you're actually literally working out with weights an hour a day, that's a lot. That's quite a bit. And you don't need that much. You got unless you got somebody who's coaching you and you're working completely different body parts, which is very difficult to do. That sounds like a lot of work, and especially if you're not noticing the gains. Rest is extremely important because that's when the body recovers. The rest period is so underappreciated when it comes to working out. So number one, you might want to be thinking about overtraining and maybe taking some breaks. That's one strategy. Secondly, if you're carrying 40 pounds extra, which is you said you're carrying 40 pounds extra weight, and that weight is body fat. You want to keep in mind that female hormone, which antagonizes testosterone, I shouldn't say female hormone, estrogen, which antagonizes testosterone, is made in body fat. So the more body fat we carry, the lower our testosterone effects are going to be because you're making this estrogen in body fat. So losing the body fat is very, very important. Lowering insulin is also very important, and of course, that's real easy to do. Eating more protein and limiting your amount of refined carbs and sweets and desserts are going to be important in that regard. Those are two non-supplement ways to support testosterone. As far as supplement goes, before we went to break, I was telling you about zinc. That's a must-have for testosterone. So is vitamin A. Vitamin E may also help you, and you should be doing the Mighty 90 nutrients just anyway, especially if you're working out. Keep in mind, for you guys who are working out and lifting weights, doing whatever kind of exercise you're doing, you're losing nutrients as you work out, so it's extremely important that you replace those nutrients. That means everybody needs to be on the Healthy Start Pack and the Mighty 90, but especially if you're a workout warrior, if you're out there in the gym an hour a day or doing any kind of workout, it becomes extra important that you don't run into nutritional deficiencies because your body is going to break down its muscle to get those nutrients, which is counterproductive, obviously. So you want to make sure that you're getting the basic nutrients. Rest is important, as I said. Intermittent fasting is another wonderful anabolic or bodybuilding strategy. You might want to consider some intermittent fasting, maybe one day a week, mixing it up. Don't pick the same day. You want to do it intermittently. Keep your body guessing as to when food is coming in and when food's not coming in, and the less calories you eat is going to be also important for lowering insulin. I'm not saying less nutrients, I'm saying less calories. That can also support insulin. Creatine after your workouts, that's always going to be helpful for muscle building. All supplementation when you come home from the gym, that's really the best time to do your supplements. And last but not least, even though you're a bit young, for DHEA or pregnenolone supplements, those can possibly be helpful. Even though those aren't strictly nutritional, those can possibly be helpful for muscle building. Maybe a small dose of DHEA, 5 milligrams a day kind of thing, or some progesterone cream, or maybe 50 to 100 milligrams of pregnenolone. Those can all be anabolic or bodybuilding. Does that help you, my friend?
Yeah, and I just wanted to say my mom's doing a lot better on the BTT. She was having some heart murmurs, and they didn't know what it was, and it was consistent every 3 or 4 weeks. She'd go to the ER, and for the past 4 months she's been taking the BTT, and it hasn't happened once.
Praise God. That's awesome, my friend. Did I tell you about it? How'd you hear about the BTT?
Yeah, you told me, but I take three canisters a month. So
awesome. Am I kidding, Mike? You're not a medical professional. Am I kidding? As a lay person, as a regular person, when I talk about how important this stuff is, can you see how important it is?
Yeah, it's amazing, and it tastes good, and it's just packed. I bring it into mineral stores, and I tell them, hey, can you replace this for me? How many products would I need? And they just go nuts.
That's
they're
right.
Looking at the label, and they're like, what the? Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying when I talk about this stuff. Thanks so much, Mike. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Think I'm kidding you, folks? When I tell you this stuff is amazing, I'm telling you from 17 years of experience, this stuff is amazing. The results that you get, weight loss and cardiovascular benefits, lower blood pressure, appetite suppression, more energy, feeling better for $50 a canister. What the heck are you waiting for? And you're not getting it anywhere else. There's no products on the market that have this kind of nutritional density, taste, for $50 to $55 for a canister. Use 1 a month or 2 a month, and I'm telling you, if after 17 years of watching the results, if you don't notice results dramatically with this stuff, you're not using it correctly. All right. 855-660-4261 is our number. Buddy in Arkansas. What's going on, my friend?
Hey, I really appreciate you. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
I have 2 questions. One, there are pharmacists, and then there's pharmacists that can mix ingredients, and I'm ignorant, so if it sounds ignorant, it is. I just learned this.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Yes, they call them compounding pharmacists, and those are pharmacists that actually make medicine. Most pharmacists are not compounding pharmacists, and they're very unhappy. Because when we went to pharmacy school, we didn't expect to be sitting in Walmart counting pills out and sticking labels on bottles, and that's why you don't have very many happy pharmacists working at Walmart or Kmart or Albertsons, and I was one of those miserable pharmacists. That's why I started a compounding pharmacy back in 1991. When nobody knew what compounding was. So, yes, your point is very well taken. There are compounding pharmacists who make stuff. I'm sorry. Go ahead, buddy.
Am I allowed to use you as a compounding pharmacist?
Well, you got to have a doctor. You can't use me per se. You got to have a prescription. But yeah, I can handle prescriptions. But okay, I don't dispense. I got to have a doctor order the material, and then we can make it for you. Although I closed my selling my compounding pharmacy, and I won't be opening another one up here for a couple of months. So.
All right, well, here's my problem, and you can critique it for me. I'm in my 70s. I'm starting to get cataract, and DMSO, vitamin C. I understand the eyeball has got more vitamin C than anything, and there's one other little compound. It's like, I think it is 6.25 of the DMSO and 1.25 of the vitamin C, and then 1.25 of the other one.
Are you talking eye drops, buddy? Buddy, are you talking eye drops?
Yeah.
Okay.
With DMSO, and I was wondering, have you ever heard of such a thing for cataract?
Oh, well, topically, absolutely, but internally is really where you want to work with cataracts. DMSO is amazing, amazing stuff, and if you go to benfuchsarchives.com, and then just put in the search engine DMSO, you'll get a lot of information. We talked about DMSO extensively a couple of months ago. Yes, I have heard of DMSO eye drops. I've also heard of DMSO with glutathione and vitamin C and vitamin E, and they may be helpful, but at the age of 70, what you want to be looking at if you've got cataracts is blood sugar problems. This is the number one reason why people get cataracts. In addition to That's right. In addition to digestive problems, which can compromise the absorption of nutrients. So while the DMSO drops and vitamin C drops, and sometimes they'll put NAC in there, and sometimes they'll put vitamin E in there, or maybe selenium, while they may be helpful and give you some symptomatic relief, you want to be considering why those cataracts are forming. And usually you'll find some blood sugar problems, and that would be my number one concern. So you want to focus on stabilizing your blood sugar by eating more protein and using less refined sugars and carbohydrates, and then using the sweeties from Youngevity, making sure you're on the Healthy Start Pack as well. That'll help stabilize your blood sugar. And then I'd also be concerned that I'm not absorbing nutrients out of the gut. If you're not absorbing your nutrients, that means you're going to run into deficiencies of eye-protecting nutrition. Vegetables and algae can be very helpful, by the way. There's so much more to say, but we're out of time, buddy. Hey, I'm going to be in Hot Springs, Arkansas. I don't know if you're near Hot Springs, Arkansas, but if you stop by my talk, Dr. Wallace and I are going to be doing a talk this coming Friday, May the 9th. I'll be glad to give you some personal information. Thanks for your call. Buddy, appreciate it. If we left you on hold, I apologize. Call back in tomorrow and let our call screener know that you were left on hold. We'll get you first up. That's all the time we have for today. I am Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for listening, folks. Have yourselves a wonderful, beautiful, awesome day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.
This is a special news alert to consumers who owe back taxes to the IRS.
Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing during the decline in the U.S. economy, the Internal Revenue Service is now accepting reduced settlements from consumers on back taxes, resulting in back taxes reduced by thousands of dollars. An open phone line has been established by Federal Tax Relief for consumers to call and see if you qualify for this reduction. To ensure your financial stability during this decline in the economy, take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call 1-800-210-1349. That's 1-800-210-1349. If you owe back taxes to the IRS, there's no need to fear anymore. The IRS is now accepting reduced settlements from consumers, resulting in tax debts reduced by thousands of dollars. For your free information and to see if you qualify for your reduction, call the Federal Tax Relief Hotline, 1-800-210-1349. 1-800-210-1349. That's 1-800-210-1349.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right. General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100-foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.